Game Clique.
I want to start by apologizing to you all out there, first of all. Mainly because we pride ourselves, one of the big things we do here at Game Clique is the power rankings, right? And if you're new here to Game Clique, if this is your first time listening to Game Clique, our power rankings is a top 10 list of what we consider the best games of whatever that current year is. And the difference between the power rankings and everybody else's top 10 list or top whatever list is that we update the power rankings all throughout the year. So from January all the way to December, we don't wait until December to start constructing this list. Because I got poo brain, I got bad memory. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast today. And then you expect me in December to remember what I played in January. You're not going to get that from me. So we keep the list all throughout the year. We update it. We move games up. We move games down. We add them as they come. Blah, 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 blah. So in theory, our power rankings should be extremely accurate because we don't have fatigue of things that we played back in January because we placed them already. Get what I'm saying? That's the theory. But see, I can't play everything as much as I try. And we got the rest of people. We got a lot of people here at Game Clique. There's about 6 of us. So everybody does their part. They play their games. I play my games. We get together. We match passions. And we see where the list goes. But sometimes a game falls through the crack. Cracks. Is the saying cracks or crack? We're going to say cracks. Sometimes a game falls through the cracks. And normally it's a smaller game, maybe it's an indie game that we didn't get to find, but everybody else is like, whoa, this joint, you need to keep an eye on it. This year, 2024, rather, I admitted that I didn't play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And first off, I want to point out that nobody out there made a big deal about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth not being in the power rankings discussion. So this is just as much your fault as it is mine. I can't take all of the blame. You know what I'm saying? We got to share the wealth. We got to share the infinite wealth over here. So yeah, I didn't get to play the game last year. All right? I admit that. But we got to put some blame on y'all too. Because a lot of y'all out there, y'all did voice some opinions about what didn't make power rankings. A lot of y'all were like, where's Shadow of the Retreat? Where's my DLC? Where's Titty Devil May Cry? Where's Wukong? Nobody spoke out for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I just want to point that out. Y'all aren't shit. I was just playing. I like y'all. But y'all aren't shit for letting this really great JRPG slip through our cracks. I finally started playing it. When did I start playing it? Maybe it was 2 days left in December. We'd already since did our final power rankings episode. We had already put that top 10 list to bed, etched it in stone, not to be edited ever again. But anyway, picked up the game December 29th. Started playing that joint. I'm 30 hours in. Let me tell you, if I had played this, if I had got to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth before that power rankings episode, it would have been on it. Not only would Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth have been on the power rankings, it would have been high. It would have been high on that thing. I'm trying to tell y'all, every aspect of it is flawed. There are some flaws on there. I'm not going to say it is flawed because the things that are wrong with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth they don't really take away from the game. Like, it's not, the things that are bad are very, very small, minute nitpicks. This game is great. This is like the second best JRPG that came out last year. Second only to Metaphor, Refantasio. I put this game, and this is going to upset some of y'all. And I'm all right with that, because I'm already mad at y'all because y'all didn't tell me about the game. I would put this over Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So if we're reading JRPGs that came out last year, Metaphor, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I want to make sure I am perfectly clear there. I am not playing. It's crazy to me because it's not just us that missed this. Like, it was barely anywhere to be found in the Game Awards. It got nominated for Best RPG, and that was it. This would have been in my top 5. Whatever was our number 10 on the power rankings, I think it was Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. It would have been gone. Without a second thought. Count your blessings, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. Not knocking you. I had some fun. I had fun with that game. To me, it has a lot of the vibes of Breath of the Wild, the Tears of the Kingdom, where that game, those devs urge the player to break the game. And I love games that do that. I love games that do that. And that's why I loved Echoes of Wisdom so much. Had I have put 30 hours into Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, before that Power Rankings episode, let me tell you, it would have been like Echoes of Wisdom, kiss the baby. But I'm a man of my word. And once the year is done, once 2024 is done, we cannot go back. We can't retroactively go back and fix the power rankings. So now forever, set in stone, 2024, is going to be, I'm going to have to wear that scarlet letter on my chest for the rest of my life. And I did not get Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on the power ranking. So I'm making that big deal about that because this is why I'm dedicating just about this whole episode to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, because I don't think enough of y'all out there even played it. Which is crazy because I went and I looked up the sales numbers for Like a Dragon. Infinite Wealth specifically. Because I was so curious, because nobody, like dead serious, nobody that I listen to, nobody that I watch talk about this. Like, they don't bring it up. Like, even when it was out around January, I think it came out like January 15th-ish, which is crazy for Sega to do, because you drop a game that early, that's normally like, that's a death note. Normally games that come out that early don't get spoken about around award season. So it was crazy for them to drop this that early in the year. But, I looked this up. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was the highest selling new release of the week that it came out. 100,000 copies, PS5. 77,000 copies, PS4. 180,000 copies in total on console. On console. They don't even include Steam downloads. Bro, let me tell you. And that's just the first week. I'm pretty sure it broke a mill. Let me look up. Yes. I just, look. Well, you can't look. I'm not going to put it on the screen because it looks a little tacky. It's just, I am going to put it on the screen. Fuck that. Hold on. Look at this. Get out of here, Google ad. Look at this. This is from the official Sega Japan Twitter. Sold 1 million copies. February 1st. Hadn't been out 2 weeks. Sold a milli. And y'all, like a million of y'all, at least a million of y'all out there. I know a million y'all. A million y'all. A million of you all watch that Power Rankings episode, because I know a million of y'all watched it. I'm going to say a million of y'all right before the end of this show. I know 1 million of you all watched or listened to that Power Rankings episode who played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth or any of the Power Rankings episodes throughout the year. And let us not talk about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Because if somebody would have said something, anybody, because to prove this, I had pre-ordered Shadow of the Erdtree, which is something I don't normally do with digital content, because pre-ordering digital content, unless it's giving you some sort of like sweet bonus, is dumb. Sorry to hurt some of y'all's feelings out there. Pre-ordering digital content that there is an infinite amount of. Digital stuff will never sell out, that I guess, unless like NFT catches on and it starts like affecting false limited numbers of digital games or whatever. Digital content doesn't sell out. But I was so excited for Shadow of the Erdtree, I pre-ordered it. I downloaded it day one. Booted up Elden Ring for the first time since 2022. Booted that thing up. Then I found out you need to beat Radon, which I've done. I beat Radon. I think you got to beat Radon. I don't know if you got to beat Radon. You got to beat, there's like 5 bosses. You got to beat at least 2 of them before you can do the final thing. But I'm not saying you got to beat Radon in a literal sense. Like, you don't have to beat Radon. You could beat any of the other 2 of the other 5 big bosses, or 6 or whatever. I don't know the exact number. Don't call me a fake gamer or whatever. Don't call me a fake gamer, because I don't know that number off the top of my head. But you don't have to literally beat Radon, but you need to beat Radon if you want to really take that maidenless title off you. If you want to be respected in the Elden Ring streets, if you want to be respected in the Souls-like streets, the Soulsborne streets, you got to beat Radon. So I beat Radon. The other boss you got to beat before you can even start Shadow of the Erdtree is Moog. I think that's how you say it. Moog. How to get to Shadow of the Erdtree content. Mogwin. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Up until that point, I had never seen that boss a day in my life. I did not know that Moog was a thing. Never seen Moog a day in my life. I found out you gotta beat Moog, instantly deterred me. Bop. Never mind. Because I was busy. Shadow of the Erdtree came out in the middle of the summer, and normally summer is like a little dead zone for games releases. So you can get like some time. That's normally my catch-up time. So blame y'all's desire for us to talk about Shadow of the Erdtree. For why? See how it's y'all fault? I don't want to jump all over the place, but I just put that together. I just put 2 and 2 together. I already was leaning towards, it's y'all's fault because you didn't push me to play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Knowing how much I liked Yakuza Like a Dragon, the first one. Y'all know how much I loved that story about a bunch of homeless men fighting against the machine, fighting against consumerism, fighting against the Yakuza. Y'all knew that. Y'all say, nah, man, go find Moog. Go get the Shadow of the Erd Tree content. This is going to be goaty. And it was good. It was great. There was more Elden Ring. And Elden Ring was great. Elden Ring was my goaty in 2022. So more Elden Ring is always great. But let me tell you something. My bad, y'all. I'm typing stuff so I can put it. Shadow of the Erd Tree. Let me tell you something. I would have prioritized playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth had I known it banged as much as it banged. And that thing banged. That thing banged. And I'm all, God damn, now I'm putting Shadow of the Erd Tree gameplay up while I'm talking about Yakuza. But I'm going to keep this up because I do want to, I want y'all to see this. This is what y'all made me play. Over Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Good call. I'm not saying it was completely wrong. Shadow of the Erd Tree is great. Shadow of the Erd Tree is great. Don't clip that other stuff without clipping this. Don't make it out the seem that I hate Shadow of the Erd Tree, or I'm saying that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a better experience than Shadow of the Erd Tree. What I'm saying is the power rankings rules, which are also etched in stone, not up for debate, right? No DLC can be on the list. No expansions, no faithful remakes, no remasters can be on the power rankings. So from jump, we knew Shadow of the Erd Tree could not make this list. And knowing that, y'all demanded that I play Shadow of the Erd Tree over Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So the 2024 power rankings will be scarred forever because of that decision that we made collectively. You made it, I made it, we made it. Let's all grow. Stop pointing the finger. Let's stop pointing the finger at each other. I know that's what y'all doing at home, because that's what y'all like to do. But let's stop doing that. And let's just move on. And let's spend the rest of this episode giving Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth its much-deserved flowers. I'm going to tag it. I'm going to find a way to put this little mini episode up on the power rankings. If you look at the power rankings on YouTube, it's going to be a little link saying, hey, my bad, y'all. My bad. We talked about Like a Dragon. Here you go. Here you go. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is so good. And mainly it's because, for me, it's because of that battle system. That battle system is so freaking good. It's so unique. And I should have known already because it's not too much, or at least from what I remember, because I haven't played Yakuza Like a Dragon since it originally released. And I believe that was 2 years ago. But it feels so good. It feels so unlike any other JRPG. So let me break it down a little bit. It's on screen right now for you that are watching this and not listening to this. It is turn-based. It's turn-based. You control your whatever party member's turn it is at the time, and you can move, but you're constricted to a circle based on like whatever that teammate's speed is or whatever. So you can move through that circle and position yourself and choose who you want to hit throughout the enemies that are in the battle, and then initiate that attack or that special move based on what you want to do. The cool part about that is you can kind of take advantage of where everybody else is positioned and kind of get some combos going off, or knock enemies into other enemies to chain damage, or you can knock enemies into your party members to create combos. Or you can do tag team moves, or you can freaking call in help, which I know that was in Yakuza Like a Dragon. You can call in like an Uber Eats assist, where like an Uber Eats person drops out the sky, and for 3 turns, they start fucking shit up. But because of all that kind of like planning that you can do, like if you're not one for all that, you can totally just like mash attack for the most part and get through most of the battles. But if you really want to like get into the nuts and the butts and the meat and potatoes of that battle system, that joint is deep. And I didn't expect that from an RPG spinoff of the Yakuza series. Even after playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, the first one. That battle system is so good. And 30 hours in, I'm still finding myself in unique situations. I'm still finding new cool ways to take advantage of like positioning my party members, positioning the enemies, knocking them into walls, positioning myself near environmental weapons. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I'm sitting here listening to myself praise the Yakuza battle system, and it's so I'm sorry, I was laughing at what was on the screen at the time. But it's so reminiscent of how we were praising Metaphor Refantasio. Don't go anywhere. Don't turn the channel. Don't turn this podcast off. I know what a lot of y'all are thinking, like, whoa. Let's not get too hasty. Metaphor Refantasio. There's a lot of people's goatees out there. The greatest JRPG of last year. Possibly the greatest Atlas RPG of all time. Don't compare this silly-ass homeless man game to that. I know that's what a lot of y'all are saying, but hear me out. Hear me out. What was some of the reasons we were praising Metaphor Refantasio? I want y'all to tell me that. I'm going to give y'all a second to reflect on that before I tell you. What are some of the reasons that we were praising Metaphor Refantasio? I'm going to tell you. Unique battle system. Right? Metaphor did a lot of things that could really change up that Persona Shin Megami Tensei battle system with positioning people in the front or the rear of the battlefield, with the tag team moves, with picking the different archetypes, leveling up the different archetypes. You can say a lot of that about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It was the same thing I just was saying. What's another thing we were talking about when we praise Metaphor Refantasio? The near perfect party members. There is not one annoying party member in Metaphor Refantasio. Guess what I'm about to tell you? Guess what I'm about to tell you? Not one annoying party member Not one. Not one in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Not one. So let's go down the list one by one. I should have it pulled up. But I know a couple of them off the top of my head. I know this doesn't bode well for my case. But look, man, you got Ichiban. You got Ichiban. We met him in the first Yakuza Like a Dragon. And I think he's such a cool protagonist. And I think he fits that Yakuza tone perfectly. He's a freaking saint. He's funny as hell. He's charitable to a fault. And he improves everybody around him. Like, he's funny. He doesn't mind being the butt of the joke. And he's genuinely a guy that, like, if I was in this world, if Ichiban was a real dude, I would want to hang with Ichiban. I would fuck with Ichiban. Heavy. Then you got Kiryu. I am, like, having a really tough time pronouncing things today. You got Kiryu. Legend of the Yakuza series. You got them both in the same game. Kiryu's dope, strong, silent type, but he's got the deep, dark secrets that I'm not going to spoil. But cool, calm, collected. There's always one of those in your JRPG party. So I will say that. But Kiryu's one of the dopest ones. He's one of the coolest ones. I will tell you that. Man, it's killing me, yo. It's killing me that I don't know the other two people. The other two people's name. But it's a cab driver who starts out as an asshole, but that's by design. It's not by a mistake. He's not, like, intentionally supposed to be a funny person, and then, like, all the players are like, oh man, I hate every time this asshole opens his mouth. I wish he's not a Morgana. This is not a Morgana situation. The cab driver starts off as a bad guy. He joins your party. He freaking evolves. He learns. He opens up. He gives you his motivations of why he was bad at first. And, like, he starts doing these things, sacrificing him. It's so good. Actually, the other two members both have that same kind of character arc where they start bad and then they join your party and then you realize, oh, no, they're not bad. They just needed some bread or, like, something else, some other motivation. Anyway, long story short, party is perfect. Damn near, like, almost all the characters that you bump into in Yakuza, in Like a Dragon. Damn near perfect. The only other thing that I could say that Metaphor has that I can't compare to Like a Dragon is the music. Metaphor's music bangs. Like, not in the sense that I'm going to play it in the car. I'm not going to be driving down the street and, like, pull up at a red light and you'll pull up next to me and you're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But I will say while I'm playing the game, I'm like, all right, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Yakuza, Like a Dragon, they really got to figure out what they're going to do with this naming convention. Because I've called that game Yakuza like 8 times today. Well, Like a Dragon, like, the music's fine. Which is weird because Sega normally don't mess with the music. And I'm not saying Like a Dragon music is a miss. I'm just saying it's serviceable. I'm saying it's there. It's inoffensive. I don't walk away like, that's a banger. That don't happen. But to make up for the music, like most Yakuza games, or most games even made by the developers of the Yakuza series, the side content bangs. It's so freaking good. Like, there's some side content in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth that could damn near be standalone games, which is crazy. One standout for me is you can like be a Uber Eats dude. You can be a bicycle Uber Eats dude. You got to drive around the city, picking up food as in the street, which I know that it's a little arcadey, so it's like floating food. It's not really like a burger laying in the street. It's like floating food. You got to run around, you got to pick up the food, and you got to drive it to different people, drop it off, and based on how fast you go, you get bonus points, you get some money. It's so good. The karaoke's back. It's just every single mini game in Like a Dragon is so fun. There's one that I did not vibe with. And I was shocked because there's normally not like, I normally don't encounter that in Like a Dragons or Yakuza's or even Judgment. But it's one, not only do I not vibe with it, but they force you to play it for a weird long time. So there's a point in the game that I ran into. I'm not going to explain why because there's some story stuff, but you get stranded on another island in Hawaii. And long story short, it plays kind of like an Animal Crossing where you have to, like this island that you're on, supposed to be a resort, looks like shit. I mean, it's like trash everywhere. It's freaking like bugs and shit everywhere. Buildings are like dilapidated. And you got to take your time and like pick up trash, beat up trash. You got to beat rocks up. You got to like furnish the island back up. And this is coming from a guy that put, I don't even know how many hours into Animal Crossing New Horizon when it first came out. I did not bang with that section of the game. And I felt like the game was holding me hostage because you have to put in at least 3 days of, you have to put in at least 3 in-game days in that section before you can leave that island and never come back. Which felt like forever for me. Like, you can't just do some of the stuff off the checklist and then you can go. Like, you literally have to stay there until 3 days have passed, 3 in-game days. So I'm sitting there for the first day, not knowing that at first, running through that checklist because I'm like, man, this fucking sucks. I'm just beating trash with a bat. I'm fishing, which normally would be fun because these are all things I like in Animal Crossing. I like fishing. I like beating rocks. I like shaking trees and getting coconuts. But it was something about that part coming up in the middle of this really good JRPG that I guess annoyed me. And the fact that the game like forces you to play it really grinding my gears. But that's the only thing so far. Like I said, I'm only 30 hours into this game. How long does it take to beat this game? I should have did that kind of research before I started recording. How long to beat Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So I'm going to how long to beat. And it says here the average for the main story, if you just mainline it, no side stuff. So I'm already out of that because I've been in that side thing. 57.5 hours. So I'm halfway through the game. Main and sides all together, 83.5. Completion is about 114. On average, about 85. So I'm between a half and a third way through the game. So after that bit of that I completed, this is about the first section of the game where I was legit, I'm about to turn this game off and never go back to it after that. I did make it past that now, so now I'm back to the cool stuff. But that island shit with the cleaning shit, with the Animal Crossing, no thank you. That was your first miss. That was your first miss, Yakuza / Like a Dragon / Judgment. So yeah, man, the side missions, the battle system's really good, the characters are really good, and I don't know if this is a gripe that everybody had, but this is a gripe that I had, I guess, when it came to the Yakuza, the Like a Dragons, the Judgments, is that the game almost always uses the same map. It always uses the same kind of like quarter of Japan, the same city blocks, the same buildings. And I know that's to their advantage, and that's why they can put the games out so quick, which I appreciate. But it was time for a change of scenery. And correct me if I'm wrong out there, but I think this is the first game in that series, or even that, well, no, I'm not going to say that developer is made, because they paid Like a Dragon Ishii, and that was in feudal Japan. But this is the first game in the Yakuza Like a Dragon franchise, that Yakuza Like a Dragon series, that did not take place in Japan. They moved to Hawaii, and the game is better off for it. What's going on with me, y'all, today? The scenery change is so dope, and it's something that you notice like immediately, and you appreciate it throughout the game. And there's so many fun ways to traverse the area, like fast travel almost immediately. You do have to pay some in-game currency, but once you get about, I don't know, 5-ish hours in, you kind of have enough money where you can afford a taxi ride almost anywhere. I didn't really have a point in time where I was hurting. But you can use taxis for fast travel. You can use segways if you want to like still want to like walk around, but you want to walk faster. Then you can run. You can put the segways on like auto drive, so you can kind of how Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can get on a horse and kind of let the horse go on autopilot. Only in Yakuza you don't got to worry about somebody robbing you while you're going making a sandwich or something. You don't got to worry about like accidentally starting a turn-based battle, but it's not like they're going to beat your ass while you're in the kitchen. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, the map is fun. It's really fun to traverse it. It's really fun to look at stuff. I don't know what more I can tell y'all. The game is good. The writing is good. The story is good. And let me pull up the power rankings. I think this is a good way for me to quantify how bad I feel about not playing this game before we discuss the power rankings. I'm going to look at the power rankings and notionally, because I'm not changing the list. I want to be perfectly clear. The list is set in stone. The list is not going to change. But if we was out here changing the freaking list, right? If I was changing this list, let me see. It wouldn't be my 1. Astrobot's GOAT. I'm sorry. It's going to stay 1. Metaphor would stay 2. Balatro would stay 3. I think Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, despite me getting the name wrong constantly, would be 4. And it will push Final Fantasy VII Rebirth down to 5. Everything else down. Bye-bye. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Hypothetical bye-bye. But not really. So, yeah, man, I feel bad. that the list would have changed so drastically had I played that. But it is what it is. I think this is really the first year that a gaffe of that magnitude has been made for real. So if, depending on how long Game Clique lasts, I hope forever. I hope Game Clique lasts forever. But despite, however long Game Clique lasts, if the only time we made this kind of boo-boo is 2024, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. So I'm sorry, Ichiban. I am formally apologizing to Kiryu. I'm formally apologizing to Sega. Sorry. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth was robbed of the number 4 spot on the 2024 Game Clique Power Rankings. But just know, in my heart's Power Rankings, you're in the top 5, baby. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. If you haven't played that and you have some time, which you do, if you're not playing anything right now, I don't think the release calendar is going to start popping until like February. So if you got time, man, go ahead and pick up Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I'm sure it's on sale. I picked it up from the library. For free skis. So if you got a library, go check that out, man. It's a little unknown thing I don't think a lot of people know about. You can rent games at the library. You ain't got to pay nothing unless you don't return it. I picked it up from the library. I'm having a good ass time. I'm going to see it through. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. It's on Xbox. It's on PS5. It's on PC. Through Steam. Pick that banger up.